Judge is a better version of Brock Lesnar.
What is something you love as much as the Sherman Bears love wiping?
As an opposing fan, you'd probably see his face and want to sock him between the cracks.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into LAR Baseball, Losses Above Replacement. I'm your host today, Splash, otherwise known as Depression. Today we are joined by Alex and McCorkle, also known as Mac. How are we doing, fellas?
I mean, it sounds like we're doing better than you are, my friend, and understandably so. Honestly, I'm doing really good over here. I had an awesome weekend. I'll talk about more during the MTO. At the end of the show here, but honestly, we're doing pretty solid over here, all in all.
Yeah, I'm flying to Japan in a little over 24 hours. My flight leaves a bit after midnight, I guess, technically early Friday morning. I will be there for I land there early Saturday morning. I leave following Sunday evening, so I'll be there for about a week, a little over. So yeah, I'm getting ready for that. Have my clothes all out, ready to pack. It's gonna be my first time going to the newly renovated house that we have. As some of you may know, we've had this house for a very long time, but I think went like over 40 years without doing renovations on it. And they were somehow able to knock it all out in about 6 weeks last summer. So I'm excited to see that. Apparently my parents keep saying it's super nice. So yeah, and I mean, I don't get to go to Japan as often as I used to, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then when I get back, I'll be home for about 3 days, and I'm going to Boston to race for a weekend. So yeah, a lot of things going on, but I'll get to watch plenty of baseball in Japan because the World Baseball Classic will be on my TV probably every morning and every evening.
Exactly. You literally at that point will be shipping up to Boston, though.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to start your days and end your days is with the World Baseball Classic.
Exactly.
We shall be discussing the WBC later today, but of course, we got to start with the sad news, the sad splash news, aka the second year in a row that Jurickson Profar has been suspended. Oh yeah, clap it up, boys, clap it up. Has your favorite player been suspended twice for PEDs in the last 12 months? Mine hasn't. Profar is not my favorite. Harris is, but that's neither here nor there. So Jurickson Profar tested positive again. This time he will be suspended for the entire season and will forfeit his entire salary. So the Braves have $18 million to spend, but it's March 4th. So you're going to sign potatoes off the scrap heap. So, fellas.
I like potatoes. I mean, it's...
Okay, potatoes are quite nice. Potatoes are more versatile than most of the players on the Braves.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of versatility. It's true.
Exactly.
I will say Profar can play all over the diamond, so I don't know if he's the great example for that. Fellas, what was your reaction to seeing that Senor Profar got scratched from the WBC? I think we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but Profar's out for the year, it looks like.
I mean, I'm just kind of dumbfounded here. I mean, I remember having the same reaction when Manny Ramirez failed his second drug test, and then the same reaction when Henry Mejia failed his second and third drug tests, and then that same thing happened to Marlon Byrd. He failed twice. Robinson Cano, he failed twice. I just don't understand. You get caught once. What makes you think you can get away doing it a second time? And now they're going to say there was a mix-up or something. They don't know how it got into your body. Well, it's like, all right, if you think there's something that could trigger a positive test, what are you doing consuming it? So, yeah, I remember, I think back to when I was a more competitive athlete, in high school and college, and then we were told there are certain things that you should be avoiding because they could be containing banned substances. I know they specifically were referring to like those pre-workout supplements or protein powders. If they have like weird, big, bold labels, that chances are you should be avoiding it because they probably contain something you're not allowed to have in your body. I don't know how this happened, but to fail a drug test 2 years in a row also is just, it really amazes me, honestly. Like how can you let that happen? I mean, Jurickson Profar signed a 3-year contract. after a career year. I mean, 2024, it was a little suspicious that he just all of a sudden lived up to his potential and had a great year at the age of 31. But, he's now had 2 years where he's forfeited money because of a failed drug test. And next year, who knows if there's even going to be a season. So, I mean, you can't really blame the Braves here. You blame the player because there's no way you can predict that a guy will sign your contract and fail a drug test 2 consecutive seasons. So, yeah, I'm really at a loss for words here. And, I mean, he better not do it again because he's done for life after that.
Here's my thing, right? And this is what always gets me. And maybe it's just because I didn't grow up with money, right? He's forfeiting $15 million. And he's saying that going for he's not saying, but the action of taking these banned substances is saying it's worth the risk of losing that $15 million. $15 million is a lot of money, right? Here's the thing. We talk about as baseball people, right? These huge contracts, you just throw them around to people, right? You can always throw, several million over to others. I don't think I've had $1 million collectively over my entire life here. And I've been on this earth for almost 32 years. I hate saying that, by the way, but at the same time, just thinking about that 15 million and all you have to do is follow some rules. That is fine. Look, it just angers me at this point because I don't know whether it is you're stupid, you feel privileged, you feel like you're above the law, anything like that. When there's that amount of money that is on the line here, why would you risk it here? And another thing though, and this kind of goes back to that 2024 season, does this almost indicate that maybe he was doing it during that time too here? And that's what maybe led into him being more heavily tested in 2025 and getting his suspension then. And now in 2026, doing the exact same thing, thinking he got it away with it in 2024. This is all speculation, by the way, nothing proven. That he could get away with it in 2026 and is already found to be going down swinging. And now, at this point here, I like how you brought up some of the other players that had, failed 2 drug tests here. And there's something that unites a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them, though. And that is that they came back horrible. They were not even remotely close to the same player. You take a look at Robinson Cano as one of them, right? Before, he was still mashing the ball pretty darn good. Here, he was still your all-star-ish level second baseman. Afterwards, he's getting passed around like a joint. It's not even funny at that point. Here, so again, when you get to that level of money, right? And I understand, he's if he felt like he needed to take a supplement or something to reach the potential that he was always told he was going to have. But you've got to find some way to just break through it here. And on top of it, even through all of that, you're still making more money per year than a lot of families do at this point here. And that was even under the small contracts, right? Even the, 1 million, 2 million a year type contracts, let alone a 15 million a year contract. I will say for the Braves, though, this does give an interesting opportunity, though, because you also need pitching. There's still pitching on the market right now that you can, in quote, use that money for, that you were already planning on using that money for. So I don't know. Again, just a thought.
Okay. If you know me, I am I guess supportive to a fault or understanding to a fault. The first time, the story at least is it's in a fertility drug. Okay. You know what? Fine. Just the second time, it just is a slap in the face to your teammates, the coaches, staff, the front office, that you had a great season in 2024. You were an MVP candidate. You were like an all-star level player, like an awards level player. Like you have text on your baseball reference page in the rightmost column for the first time in your career, I think, unless you received down ballot rookie of the year votes. And the Braves said, all right, we are not only going to trust you, we are going to give you a 3-year deal, $45 million, and we think you're going to make a great addition to our ball club. And we can sim through the rest of the season. He will accumulate no stats this year. So through 2 seasons on the contract, he will have played 80 games out of 324 and missing 222 or 242 for suspension reasons and missing any potential playoff games. Although we can talk about that in a couple weeks. Those playoff odds are going downhill real quick there in Atlanta. It's just frustrating because he was good last season and it wasn't like a unsustainable good. It was just getting on base, hitting some doubles, stealing a couple bags here and there. He made the catch of the season, robbing a home run, and he was going to be the DH this year. So you don't have to worry about the crappy defense. It's like, okay, he's going to platoon, he's going to hit high up in the order. And now you just look at the Braves lineup and I only trust 4.5 dudes now. I trust Ronald. I trust Drake Baldwin, my GOAT, my king, my glorious king. I trust Matt Olson. I kind of trust Austin Riley. He's not going to be bad. I know that. He'll be average-ish. And then I trust Yastrzemski to hit against right-handed pitching. Profar was going to be a solid option against both-handed pitching. He's a switch hitter, unlike Luis Angel Acuna. And just like, what are we doing, man? And just the hits keep coming. It's in 24. You had 1 game of your starting lineup. Murphy got hurt. Strider got hurt in his second start. Ronald tore his ACL. Riley was hurt. Ozzie was hurt. Harris was hurt. The pitching was unbelievable, though. The whole year was unbelievable, okay? 2025. The entire opening day rotation was on the 60-day IL at one point. That did not include Spencer Strider, who missed the start of the season and missed a chunk of time during the season with a hamstring injury. Ronald came back from his ACL unbelievably. Ozzie was hurt. Riley was hurt. Arcia got sent to Colorado, which might be worse than getting sent to Siberia. Who knows? Murphy was hurt again. Profar suspended half the season. Ozuna was dealing with a hip injury the entire season. Michael Harris was the worst player in baseball for half a year. It just, I don't know, man. The hits just, they keep coming, and it sucks for Team Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic. They get the rug pulled out from under them right before the tournament starts. This sucks for the Braves. It sucks for everything because and the Braves don't even have like an internal option. You're going to turn to Eli White. And look, I love Eli White, the greatest hitter in the history of Tennessee baseball. Unbelievable pinch runner, but do you want him playing every single day? No, you don't want him in a prominent maybe batting 9th every day and playing good defense and being a great base runner. But like Profar was going to be one of the better hitters on the Braves. You probably could have been the 3rd best hitter or 4th best hitter, depending on what Austin Riley's doing. Like he and Baldwin, really. It just, This sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah. It's just how, doing it twice is just, like Alex was saying, it's more than about like just you harming yourself. You're losing your money, but also to do it in a year where there is a World Baseball Classic when you are going to be representing the Netherlands, that's just, it hurts your team too. And the Netherlands they do not have a bad roster. That's a roster that could win some games. But I remember when it happened with Cano. I remember the thing with Cano was that he had started to hit again. Then he would get injured. Then all of a sudden he was back like quickly. Like he was recovering like abnormally quickly from these injuries. And then he was a monster in the COVID shortened season. Then he fails the second drug test. And I remember he was asked in spring training in 2022, can the team rely on you to not fail another drug test? And he didn't really give a direct answer to that. And honestly, that'd be a question I have is, if you are the Braves and you are, the players on the Braves, would you trust that he wouldn't fail a 3rd drug test now? Because I remember it with Henry Mejia, he failed the first drug test early in 2015. Then he failed a second one in the summer of 2015. Then somehow in February, he failed a 3rd drug test. So that was 3 in like a span of not even 12 months. So like, yeah, I mean, can you even trust the guy anymore? It's just it sucks, really.
Yeah,
I want to bring up one thing here. So I have his baseball reference page pulled up here, and I want to just kind of bring up here how bad he honestly was here before the 2024 season. Right? Okay. In his entire career, he had only 3 years where he had a WAR above 1. Not like 2 or 3 or 4, above 1. That was 2018, where he had a 1.5 WAR, did respectfully all right. Not amazing, but all right. 2020, COVID shortened season, and then 2022 with the Padres, a 2.9. And then it goes weird because then you have 2024 where it absolutely bounces up here to 3.6 and then 1.1 in the shortened suspension season. If we like right now, if you are a team that is looking for a player, you cannot trust him at this point. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, that's not happening here today. Like, because here's the thing, is that even if he is, like, telling the truth, and he was not going to fail another drug test, right? Body is clean, goes and finds whatever he needs to. There's a very real chance he goes back to what he was for legitimately over a decade, which was, at best, a menial player. Like, that's what kind of sucks about all of this here. At his best during that time, he was an acceptable level utility guy. From every year of his career, from 2012 all the way through until 2024. 2024 is when that changed. 2023 is when he went to the Padres. And in that year, he had a negative 1.2 WAR. Just remember that. He had a negative 1.2 WAR that year because he had negative 1.6 with Colorado before he was traded over to the Padres. Here. So, at that point, it's like, there's no reason to trust you. There is no good reason to trust you anymore. And I feel like I'm beating the dead horse here. But when you are at that level and you have that money here, why risk it anymore? Here, you've got the cash. He's done something that a lot of baseball players cannot say that they've done. He has played for over a decade of Major League Baseball. He has played for 12 years. That's impressive for a player that's legitimate. If you want to take out 2024 and 2025, here he has a career WAR of under 7. So less than 1 per year. But at that point here, what are you trying to get out of him then? What are you going to get out of him here? Because right now he is 32. Let's say for just argument's sake, right? Argument's sake, sorry. This is going to be his age 33 season that now is gone. We may not have his age 34 season with an impending lockout coming. Potentially, hopefully not. Fingers crossed. That means that at the very earliest, that you are going to see Jurickson Profar put on a baseball jersey to play in a major league game, he will be 35. That is way over the hill for a lot of players, especially for one that has, over the course of the decade of his career, been less than 1 win added on average. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, maybe I can speak to like a rosier perspective and say his plate approach is, matured, and having some good coaching in San Diego, good coaching in Atlanta with Tim Hires. I think he could have been an average hitter, even if you take a reduction to the power. And he was a good hitter last season, and this year, he would have been in the 20 double, 20 homer, maybe 20 steals with Antoine Richardson coming in. I don't know. So he would have been like a solid player and an everyday player in an Atlanta lineup that needs it. And frankly, needs another guy to get on base in front of Olsen and Riley and the boppers and in front of Baldwin. And it just kind of takes the wind out of your sails. And imagine you're a teammate. Imagine if you're Ozzy Albies, who is not only a teammate with the Atlanta Braves, he's a teammate on the Netherlands. They're both from Curacao. If you're Ozzy, and I know Ozzy is like the most positive guy on the planet and is a sacred soul, but if you're Ozzy, you can't look at the guy the same. Like, he's cheated you twice now, and 3 times if you want to count the Netherlands. Like, I don't think the Netherlands were going to win the World Baseball Classic or anything, but that was a talented team. They have a lot of really good players. Bogarts and is Kenley pitching?
He's on the roster.
Okay.
Is he? That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, you got Kenley, the GOAT, who was discovered largely in a World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, as a catcher.
Yeah, of course. Like Profar, Ozzy. Like, that's a fun team. That's like one of the like second or third tier contender teams. And if you're Ozzy, you're like, man, you ripped us last year in Atlanta. You're ripping us this year in Atlanta. You're ripping us like in this World Baseball Classic. That who knows? It's such a short, 2 weeks that they could make a run. Mexico beat the United States last WBC. Who knows? But yeah, it just stinks. And now the Braves have to pivot, and you have to pivot in March, and that's 2 weeks ago, Marcell Ozuna was available. Now, I know Marcell Ozuna has his issues, but he is beloved in the Braves clubhouse. He is hit for the Braves. And, you could have just re-signed him and plugged him into an everyday role and rolled back 2024 and 2025. But now he's in Pittsburgh, and the money that you could have made looked an awfully lot like what Zach Gallen made. Now, I didn't want Zach Gallen, to be clear, but what did Zach Gallen make on the open market? What did Chris Bassett make on the open market? Just about the money that Profar saves you. But it happens on March 4th. So Bassett, he's in Baltimore. Gallen, he's back in Arizona. It just sinks. And the Braves don't have a high-level position player prospect that you can just, give the chance to, right? All of their top position player prospects are down below AA. Like even like John Heel is like the hot name. He plays shortstop, but he's not going to play this year. Maybe at the end of the year, maybe like a September call-up situation, but it just, like, the Braves are in a really rough spot here, and they've been decimated with pitching injuries. 2 of your top 6 starters are out for who knows how long, and who knows if they're going to be effective when they come back, if they come back in June or July, optimistically. And like, it just sucks that like spring is this hope eternal, and every team 0-0. It feels like the Braves are 0-40 already.
Yeah.
Any other words,
That's,
fellas?
Again, something that as a player, like, you just kind of have to understand that there's more than just you out there, right? There's so much more than just you getting paid. And like you said, Splash, again, you brought up an excellent point. You are not only, for lack of a better term, screwing your team, you are also screwing the entire, it's like your World Baseball Classic team. You are screwing the organization with this. And like I said, let's say, for example, this was found out in, let's say, December, right? That then gives you more months to figure out a plan B. So now what is your thought process going to be? Well, who's your left fielder now? Like, who is going to be who's going to be playing DH now? Are you really going to try and trust Austin Riley to go out and play left field and put someone else at third base? Like, or are you going to try and put Drake Baldwin in the outfield? Like,
hey, they did it with William Contreras. I'm just saying.
That's right.
I'm aware they did.
Darno played second and third with the Mets. So,
oh yeah, a lot of times in the same game.
Oh,
that's one of my favorite box
That doesn't
scores.
make it right, though. That doesn't make it good. Doesn't make it a good decision.
All right, Alex, I will raise you one. The Braves trade. Okay. I don't know what they're trading, but they trade for Isaac Paredes. He plays third. I guess Paredes could play in the outfield, maybe. And Riley plays left. Or better yet, trade with freaking Boston. They have Jaron Duran just sitting there. I
Yeah, I
guess
was
I
gonna
don't
say
know what
Jaron
you're
Duran's
offering.
doing he's I'm honestly shocked he's still on the Red Sox.
That makes so much sense. Like, I don't know what the Braves would trade. They'd have to. I don't know what Boston would want. I guess they would. They want pitching because they have
honestly
like
have
a
no
logjam
clue.
of infielders,
Or
anyway,
like
and they have enough
they need
outfielders.
power more than anything. So
Okay,
I don't
Braves
know how
can't
that
help
would
with
line
that.
up. Yeah.
Sorry. The Braves have
Yeah,
no
no.
position players. I would be worth trading. There's a lot of
You need a left. It's like you need an outfielder. It sounds like here the Mariners would be more than willing to trade you one Mister either Luke Raley or Victor Robles in exchange.
Yeah.
Luke
So-
Raley. I wouldn't mind Raley.
I
Robles-
guess I love Raley. He is my big bunt son, and I love him.
He would also serve the role as like a backup to Olsen in case of
Mhm.
disaster.
It's weird. The more you think about it, the better it actually gets, and the more sense
Yeah.
it makes. Because right
Yeah.
now, that is Seattle's plan: is that he's going to be, a platoon guy in the outfield with also some first base appearances when Naylor needs a day off. So,
I mean, I don't know what the Braves do. If you need pitching, you can come to the Braves. J.R. Ritchie. I wouldn't really trade J.R. Ritchie, but you could trade J.R. Ritchie to get what you need. You have Ritchie, you have Garrett Bauman, you have all sorts of Didier Fuentes, who was super highly touted, then got bombed to the big leagues for 2 weeks and went back down, much to the chagrin of Mark Bowman. But I don't know what the Braves pivot to. It's just a frustrating turn of events.
truly.
All right. Mac, would you like to go to your question of the day while I look for the media asset?
I was about to say question of the day. On things we're just trying to.
Here we
pass
go.
the time. There it is.
All right, question of the day. Shout out Swilly, John Boy. I'm stealing your question here that you asked the Mariners and the Angels at spring training. What is your guys' go-to In-N-Out order? I know not everyone has In-N-Out, so it's.
Yeah, I'm over here at Pacific Northwest. We don't have In-N-Out. I have gone to Cali and I've had In-N-Out a good few times, and I'll say it's very good. For me though, again, those I'm not the best when it comes to food and all that. I do like me to get that double, the plain with just cheese though, right?
Yep.
So don't that stuff, and then the well done fries are also
well done. Yeah,
absolutely. That's my order, and then a Coke obviously to drink. But no, honestly, just that burger is nice. Although if you watch the end of the video here, there was depending on where you were raised, what you prefer between In-N-Out and Five Guys. I'm 100% on the Five Guys train. Even after
Five Guys is so expensive.
That's my one gripe.
Here's the thing: is that it's expensive, but you pay for quality.
I mean, it's true, but In-N-Out. I mean, not Five Guys is so.
It is expensive, but
expensive.
it's good. It's really good.
It is pretty good.
This is a tough one. I've only been to In-N-Out once when I was in Arizona, so. Unfortunately, I can't really answer very well. Like, I don't know the lingo. Just no onions on my burger, please. Every player's like, oh yeah, I'll get 2 by whatever with onions. It's like, no, screw off, buddy.
Really? Okay. I mean, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I go for those of you, anyone who knows my family knows, like when we go out to visit my brother on the West Coast, first place we're going to is In-N-Out. So I go double animal style. So that's you grill the patty in mustard. So yeah, double animal style. I actually do get it with an onion. Animal style fries.
Just kind of put on there.
Animal style fries, and then I get a black and white shake. If you're not aware, or if you have any time on your hands, and you're not familiar with the In-N-Out secret menu, look it up. Just keep scrolling. There are endless options.
Okay. I've been craving Waffle House, so I wish there was some Waffle House in Northern Virginia.
Just make sure you go to the gym beforehand here, because you're getting your strength from when there is inevitably going to be a fight.
Yeah. There's some fun personalities.
I have not experienced that at a Waffle House, actually. Probably because I've only been there a couple times.
Ironically enough, I wasn't in a fight. I was in a beef. I will tell the story off podcast. But
okay, fair enough.
I was in a Waffle House beef I did not know I was in a Waffle House beef, but I was in a Waffle House beef. Speaking of
we go
beef,
from talking about burgers here to Waffle House here, and
Yes.
we get back to beefing somehow. That's just
yes,
how it
beef.
works.
Yeah,
I have beef with the injury gods.
I do too.
I think everyone does.
He's getting imaging on his forearm. Maybe I'm just a Braves fan. Maybe I just like Hunter Green, but I'm assuming the worst here. This is devastating. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball. He is just on the short list of guys who would have been considered in our top 5, at least my top 5 pitchers next week. Genuinely, like, he could have been number 5. Like, he's just awesome. He's unbelievable run prevention at Great American Small Park. And it just sucks that, like, the Reds are like a fringe playoff team. Last year they made it in over the decrepit orange and blue brigade. Mac, tell us more. But it just, I hate it. I want to see a healthy team. Even the Mets and Phillies. I don't want to see injuries on the Mets and Phillies. I just want to beat them square up. I want to see Harper go over 100, not miss the whole season. Just injury gods. Can we have a discussion, please? Can you give us Hunter Green for a full season?
Yeah,
like,
seriously,
I don't need my
hurts.
UCL. Why can't I? Well, I don't want to tear my UCL.
Whoa.
Okay, but why do all the pitchers have to get Tommy John surgery? Why can't it be someone that doesn't need their elbow for, like, greatness here?
It hurts my soul seeing this dude get hurt again. Really, we saw how great he could be once he broke out in 2024. He was really good again in only 19 starts. He put up 4.4 baseball reference WAR in only 19 starts this past year. And I remember coming up when he was coming up, I was like, all right, can he throw strikes consistently at least? And this year he had a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I think he just, if he could stay healthy, we have the same conversation about Byron Buxton on the position player side. Stay healthy, and you will get Cy Young consideration easily. You'll easily be an all-star. We saw this past year, Buxton finally played close to a full season. He hit 35 homers and won a Silver Slugger. I want to see Hunter Green at least put together like one full season where he qualifies for the ERA title, because he would be he'd be a Cy Young finalist, honestly. So yeah, this really sucks. I was just thinking about how the Reds rotation could be one of the better ones in the National League, if not all of baseball. And this is a huge blow, really.
Yeah. And one other thing to kind of add on to this here too is that the Reds have had actually already a few injuries on the starting pitching frontier. Again, they've had injuries as well to Graham Ashcraft and Brendan Williamson here. So this is not the only starting pitcher that has gotten injured for them. But bringing it back to Green, he is a phenomenal talent here. Again, we all had the same concern with it. Could he throw strikes at the major league level? Could he have command of the fastball? And guess what? Lo and behold, he found it. He found the command, and he was absolutely excellent last year. I don't know if I would have put him in my top 5. It would be very close, though. He would probably earn that honorable mention if he doesn't get the number 5 slot. But no, this guy is like electricity as a starting pitcher. He is absolutely dominant in that way. But again, when you have these injuries, it just sucks. It's these freak accidents that you're like, okay, well, the reason why it's happened so much to athletes as opposed to people that don't, play these sports is because that tendon is always being tested.
Okay, I know why.
I know. But like, especially when you throw that hard, right? You test it even more so here. And it is hell trying to come back from here, because again, it's kind of like here what we talked about earlier with the hamate bone, right? Where you lose a lot of the strength and the confidence that you had in it until you like are actually able to build it back up. So when it comes to Green, we don't know the severity of it here. Like, some people are saying that, it's going to be out for the season. Some are saying he's just going to be on a quick IL stint. More than likely, what I think the guarantee is that he's not going to be ready for opening day. Like, no matter what, he's going to have to take about 15 days. They said that he's not even going to start picking up a baseball again until next week. Which that's being optimistic. That's also assuming that the MRIs have no real issues with them. If there are issues, then there's more problems, and you're looking at being lucky to have it by the All-Star break. So, again, all the hope goes to that they will stay. It's like that the MRIs are going to be clean, excuse me, and that he will be ready to go, let's say, by May, right? Or maybe even it's like mid-April. But it's not looking likely.
That'd be great news. Some stats for you. Over the last 2 seasons, minimum of 250 innings pitched. These are players sorted by ERA plus. Skeens, Skubal, Sale, Wheeler, Green. That's better than Yamamoto. That's better than Christopher Sanchez. That's better than Corbin Burns. That's better than Max Fried, Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez, Framber Valdez. Better than your favorite pitcher, unless they're one of the top 4. He is an unbelievably good pitcher, and he's doing it at a ballpark that has been impossible to pitch in for years and years and years. And he has tackled how to pitch at Great American Ballpark. And it just stinks. And it stinks for the Reds that they're a fringe playoff team, right? They're a team that'll probably be in the 80s wins wise, somewhere between with a healthy Green, somewhere between 83 and 88 wins, maybe, and right around a wild card spot. And, having Green, even if he misses optimistically, say he misses the first 2 starts of the season, he comes back on Jackie Robinson Day. Those 2 or 3 starts, that could be the difference in the Reds making or missing the playoffs. It would have been last year. And I know Green missed about half of the season last year, but they needed every one of his starts to make the playoffs. If he missed another start, the Mets are in the playoffs. And we all know, actually, they probably would have given the Dodgers a better series, but that's neither here nor there. It just kind of stinks. And it doesn't kind of stink. It 100% stinks. He's uber talented. I remember when he got drafted and he was this hot name, and you're just watching him climb up the ranks in the Cincinnati farm system. It's okay, when is Hunter Green going to pitch? When is he going to pitch? When is he going to pitch? He throws 102, right? He threw 102 in high school, it felt like. And it just, it's worked. He had a 6-win season 2 years ago. He was an all-star 2 years ago. He pitched 150 innings. He was awesome. He finished top 10 in Cy Young voting. And this year he was just as good. The ERA was a tick different, Skeens. It just great run suppression, great strikeouts, great stuff.
Yeah, it hurts, right? That's the main thing here, is that it is, you never like to see a pitcher go down like this. And again, we're not saying that he's out for the season. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. That has yet to be determined here. Again, optimistically, hopefully he's here by mid-April. But again, that's being optimistic. There's also, I saw a report that it's the same kind of elbow discomfort that he had at the end of the 2025 season. And he had gotten an injection in his elbow here during the offseason, and that helped him train. So maybe there's something along those lines that could be happening here. But I think for his own health at that point, you don't want to have him just continuously be getting injections there to try and stay healthy for an entire season. Because at that point, then he's going to go through the entire 2026 season and his arm is just going to be broken at that point because it hasn't had enough time to actually heal. So hopefully, if there's any actual damage, right, just be okay getting a surgery and being out for what feels like maybe a year, which, again, would it suck? Absolutely. But I'd rather have him not play and be able to play in, 2027, hopefully, and 2028 and above, than to put it all on 1 year and then at the end of the year say, okay, yeah, your elbow is actually just turned into mustard.
We've seen that happen far too often. I feel like with, you try playing through the injury or you try rehabbing with it. I remember a couple of years ago, it happened to a couple guys. Well, Andrew Painter was one of them.
Yeah.
With the Phillies, they were all right, he doesn't need the surgery. And then in June, he needed the surgery. And then with the Mets, I remember Christian Scott, he went down in July with an injury. And they're all right, he doesn't need the surgery. And then September, he needed the surgery and he was out for the year. I agree with you. If there is ligament damage, get the surgery now. you could be ready for if there is an opening day 2027, you're ready for it. But it really just does suck. This guy, it has all the talent in the world. I remember hearing about him when he was in high school as a two-way prospect. I just want to see this dude make 30 starts in a season, put together that great season we all know he's capable of.
Yeah, and like the Reds, when's the last time a Reds pitcher won the Cy Young in a full season?
Has it ever happened?
I'm trying to do some thinking here, and the last time in a full season, was it?
Knowing that it's Splash, somehow the answer is going to be Arky Vaughn, even though he's a shortstop. But no,
honestly,
somehow.
Hey, you guys saw when I had him, my app glitched and it put him in the wrong spot, but he was a correct answer, even though he never played for Cleveland. So it could be Arky Vaughn.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even think of who the last one is. Like,
that would be correct. There are none besides.
That's what I thought. There is none.
Wait,
I said that
seriously?
earlier.
Yeah, besides Japan Man.
So wait, that dude is the only Red Cy Young Award winner.
Correct.
How is that possible?
Correct.
They have such an illustrious franchise history with like the Big Red Machine and everything.
Yeah,
Damn,
that was all
wild.
hitters basically. Morgan, Rose, and Foster.
Morgan, Rose, Foster, Bench. Yeah.
Legitimately, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, the Reds are one of the most historic franchises. Probably, I think they are the oldest. I think. And
the Phillies are the oldest.
Oh, the Phillies are the oldest. Okay,
Yeah.
so but close to.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah, and every player that I could think of that played here for the Reds was a hitter. I could not think of a pitcher, basically.
Now, I will say they did have an MVP award-winning pitcher, Bucky Walters. Shout out to the Braves legend himself. But that was before the introduction of the Cy Young Award. So there's that. But yeah, the former disgraced Dodgers pitcher is the only one to win the Cy Young for the Reds. So that's the more you know.
Although I will say one more Red pitcher was really impressive early in his career, and he's actually more impressive again now, and that's Aroldis Chapman. But that's not Cy Young.
In 2 weeks.
He will be featured. He will be featured in 2 weeks.
Yes. Also, shout out to Jose Rio. Unbelievable season in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
World Series MVP. Maybe he could have won a Cy Young in an alternate timeline.
Oh, yeah. He was awesome. He had like a 10 WAR season one year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jose Rio was amazing.
Shout out to him. Fellas, are you ready to rank?
I think so.
Yes, right. I am.
We have our top 5 designated hitters today. It's a fun list. There is some not so much chaos at the top. Sometimes we have more discussion than others. We all have the same top 3 in some order, maybe. I don't know. Fellas, who would like to start?
So let's see. You know what?
I would like to start, actually, because I have a take.
All right, let's hear.
I have a take. Giancarlo Stanton's going to be a Hall of Famer the second he gets to 500 home runs. I am begging the injury gods. Let Giancarlo Stanton hit 500 home runs. I am begging you. Please. At one, it's going to be a fun, goofy Hall of Fame conversation because he's not going to have like 50 WAR. Or he could have 50 WAR. He's at 46.8. But that one's like a give or take. He will be around 50 WAR. But he's at 453 home runs. He's 47 away. He is under contract through the 2027 season with a 2028 team option. So there's a reasonable chance he gets to it with his Yankees tenure. And I think that makes him an automatic Hall of Famer. Call me old-fashioned. I don't really care. He peaked as an MVP 2017. He probably could have won the MVP. He was the best position player in the National League in 2014. So you could argue he could be a 2-time MVP winner. He's led the league in slugging 3 times, led the league in homers twice, RBIs once, baseball reference WAR once, OPS plus once, total bases once, a couple silver sluggers, a couple all-star games. Historically great in the postseason. I'm talking a 926 OPS. Why is Stanton here? I get the injury concerns. He played 77 games last year, but he had 2 WAR as a DH in that span. He had a 158 OPS plus, OPS of 944, hit 24 home runs in 77 games. I swear to everything holy, Give me a healthy Stanton season. He has had 2 in New York. He's had 2 seasons that he's qualified for the batting title in New York. 2018, he had 705 plate appearances. Looks like a typo, frankly. And in 2021, he had 579. If he's healthy, he's going to hit 30 home runs or 40 home runs. But last year he had double tennis elbow. He's healthy now, which is important. I just hope and pray he's healthy. I want to see another season with 30 home runs and 100 RBI. I'd like in 2 years to be talking about him in the Mel Ott, Miguel Cabrera, Eddie Murray section of the 500 home run club. Get over 1,300, 1,400 RBI, maybe get to 350 doubles, get to closing in on 2,000 hits if he plays 4 seasons, 3-4 more seasons, maybe, if he's healthy. But he is like a great hitter, and he has been for basically his entire career besides 2023. And I hope he's healthy enough to make the Hall of Fame, because he was that level of player. He's been that level of player his entire career, even back to the Florida Marlins days. An exceptional player, and I think he deserves some more respect in the modern era.
I get that, yeah. And here's the thing. I like Giancarlo Stanton. I honestly, I do. I love the fact that he had this incredible career over in Miami here, that during that time he was without peer in a way. He was the biggest bopper in the game here. I cannot think of anyone who hit the ball as hard and as well as Giancarlo Stanton did at that time. But now he's older. And the problem is the only thing he has right now is the long ball. He has no speed. He has no fielding ability. And again, we're talking about DH. So you can even nix the whole fielding thing here. I do want to bring up one thing that is like my main knock. I guess that's not injury related here. And that's on base. His on base percentage projected for this year is less than 310. Which is rough here. And I understand, because you don't want him on base. In no way, shape, or form do you want him running the bases. What you do want is him at the plate. You want him to at the plate and hit the ball 769 feet. That's what you want him to do, because that's something that he can do. But are you really going to take that risk with him? Or are there better options there? I don't have Stanton on my list, but honestly, he could very well deserve to be on there. Again, he is another player that's, if he does get to 500, I think he's a Hall of Famer. Easy. Again, especially if you want to go to the idea of, ranking players in their prime, prime Giancarlo Stanton is one of the best players, one of the best pure hitters to play the game. Legitimately, you watch the power that he had back then. It was nuts. It was incredible to watch.
I do want to say he did have a 10% walk rate last year. So, and he had a 350 on base. So I think Fangraphs is selling him a little short, but do consider he has the clean home run record in the history of the National League.
Yep. Fair enough on that. I am very worried, though, to see what his production will be in 2026, just because here's the other thing. Again, this is assuming that we will have a lockout here. I feel like at that point, 2026 would have to be his last season. I know he has contract vested to potentially even play in 2028. I don't want to see Giancarlo Stanton try to play that long if this year he gets injured anymore. Because at that point, his body is just falling apart here. I remember reading, when he was talking about the double tennis elbow here, that he couldn't even open a bag of chips if he wanted to. The brother couldn't, use the stairs very well walking wise because his knees were so battered. You're expecting him now to also be, one as an everyday DH. And again, that's not even disrespect at him. That is just me being worried that you're not going to see him play that amount of time here. If he stays healthy and never touches a glove in the entirety of 2026, then great. But history has said otherwise.
All right, fellas, who wants to hop into their top 5?
I'll go next.
Sure.
Here and then
Go ahead.
here. And I want to give a couple honorable mentions first, actually, here. Some people that I really thought about putting on my list were guys like Stanton. I did actually have him on my honorable mentions. But guys like Christian Yelich did not make my list. Ivan Herrera was very close to making my list, but didn't. And Yandy Diaz. Like, those last two were really ones that, like, I was trying to figure out, can I squeeze them into the list here? And I just couldn't because it hurts my soul, but number 5 is George Springer. Listen, I feel like legally I have to, based on what happened in ALCS Game 7. I'm a man that can appreciate when we are looking at one of the best postseason hitters of our generation here. Aside from that, he's also just a great hitter regardless. I don't like watching him hit against my team because he's good at that here. An on-base percentage expected at 342, right? Still batting 258 with plenty of pop and can play the outfield. He's expected to spend a good amount of time sharing actually right field with Addison Barger. But at the same time, like, I watch him play and you know he's dangerous with a bat in his hands. Here, go back to, again, I'm going to bring it up again and it hurts my soul. I want to rip my heart out every single time. But Game 7 of the ALCS, who's the guy that you want hitting in that moment, even if he's injured? It was George Springer. And he hit the ball about as hard as you could. And it still hurts me to my absolute core. But I feel like I have to put him there out of respect. Because as much as I may not be a fan of him because of everything with the Astros and everything with that happened at the playoffs last year, objectively, he is a really good baseball player. And him being able to play just as a DH here with minimal time in the outfield is going to help his injury chances go down spectacularly. But on top of it, means he gets to focus fully on being a DH. Plus, the days that he's not DHing, you're probably going to have Okamoto being the DH. So, fun time there. But no, he's my number 5, and I think it's well earned.
Yeah. A couple honorable mentions I had. Yandy Diaz, not on my list. Christian Yelich, not on my list. And Stanton, I'd say, was like the first one off for me. I really wanted to put Stanton in my top 5. I need to see him play, like an actual full season again. I have George Springer at number 5. I mean, who could have expected that, a guy in his mid-30s would have a sudden resurgence? Not just a resurgence, that was the best season of his career. He had a 166 WRC plus. His previous best was 155 in the Juice Ball 2019 season. And you look at his StatCast page, that wasn't necessarily luck. It's a lot of red. 99th percentile in xWOBA, 97th in expected batting average, 98th in expected slugging percentage. His hard hit rate went up. His barrel rate went up. His chase rate went down. His strikeout rate went down. Like, everything about his game got better somehow. I'll take the L here. In my fantasy baseball league, he was down with an injury for a little bit, and I dropped him. What happened? He caught fire immediately after. I took the L on that one. But, I mean, I can't believe it, really. And for all you can nitpick and say he hasn't been perfect health-wise, but every year since 2021, he's played in at least 130 games, which is impressive for a guy on the wrong side of 30. And I think being a DH now going forward is going to help that significantly. So he's my number 5. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to roll into my number 4. And I really wanted to put this guy higher on my list, but I think 4 is a comfortable spot here for Brent Rooker. Rooker, we know, can mash. He won a Silver Slugger before. He's part of that loaded, West Sacramento A's, or I guess just the Athletics. His offensive numbers did take like a slight dip here. It was 122 WRC plus compared to a 164 the year before that. But still, he hit 30 homers, had 89 RBIs. Like I said, 122 WRC plus. His strikeout rate came down, which is good. And for the first time in his career, he played all 162 games. So Yeah, Brent Rooker is a great player. Plus, he's a great he's a great tweeter.
Absolutely. He's number one on that list.
Yeah, one of the best baseball Twitter accounts. So, yeah, Brent Rooker is number 4. I really wanted to put him higher, though.
Yeah. Like, let's just make things easy here. Let's go back to my number 4, because I also have one Brent Rooker as my number 4, playing for the Red-Lined Athletics. Here, I very much like your graphic there, Splash. It makes me happy. But, no, yeah, I mean, what more do you want to say? The guy is a pure hitter. I don't want to see him play the outfield. I don't need to see him play the outfield. What I want to see him do is hit home runs at a AAA ballpark. Like, I don't know if there's much more you really need to say. The only reason why he's not any higher for me is because I think here is where you have the jump between a very real gap between the next top 3. Because the next 3 are just, in my opinion, in another world.
Yeah, I don't have Rooker on my list. The stats were a little bit down, and I will take the upside with Stanton over Rooker being a 120 to 130 OPS plus guy. I will take my chance that Stanton's a 150 again. So going into my number 4, I have the senior dinger himself, George Springer. Just a huge season last year. And, he's going to have an interesting Hall of Fame case. I would lean no. Maybe if the Blue Jays won the World Series, maybe that's a little bit different. But yeah, he's over 40 WAR now. He's going to be approaching 300 home runs, 300 doubles. So great career. And I hope he continues to be excellent. He has, like Max said, has played in 130 games each of the last 4 seasons. He's had over 580 plate appearances each of the last 4 seasons. Now, this was the first season he's hit like that since 2022. He was an all-star. But he was, I don't know, the 3rd best hitter in the American League. Even on a rate basis, he was right there with Cal. Well, Kurtz throws a wrench into it. But you could tell yourself he was the 2nd best hitter in the American League. You could also tell yourself he was the 4th best hitter behind Kurtz, who had a smaller sample size, but did more mashing, and Cal, who had more sample size, but did less rate-based mashing. But Springer had an excellent season. I hope to see him again in the playoffs because he's one of the best playoff performers of this era, and he should be right at the top of the Blue Jays lineup for the next couple of years. So it's been a great ride, and we're riding to number 3, a former teammate of George Springer's, Yordan Alvarez. Let me be very clear. Yordan Alvarez is a better hitter than Kyle Schwarber. He is a better player than Kyle Schwarber. The difference is Kyle Schwarber posts. Kyle Schwarber comes to the ballpark every single day, no questions asked. Yes, I know the defense is so bad that Bryce Harper had to move positions to accommodate it. I get it. Well, in Kyle Schwarber's career as a Philadelphia Philly, he has missed a grand total of 21 games. He has played 627 games. He has played 150 or more in each of the last 4 seasons. Yordan Alvarez has never played in 150 games. He missed 114 last season. So yeah, I get it. He had a 170 OPS plus in both 23 and 24. He had a 188 OPS plus and finished 3rd in MVP voting in 2022. I get that. All of those seasons would be the best season in the history of Kyle Schwarber's career. His best season is a 150 OPS plus. He did last season. Yordan Alvarez hits for higher average. He walks a crazy amount. Schwarber does too, but with the batting average that Yordan carries, Yordan is a 390 career OPS or career on base guy. Schwarber's at 346. Even in his great years with Philly, it's a 349 for his career. And Yordan is 400, 392, and even last year was a 367. In a down season, he was a 367. But why do I put Alvarez at 3? You got to play, man. At a certain point, the production's great. You're not Byron Buxton. You have qualified for the batting title in 21, 22, 23, and 24. You're playing full seasons. You're getting top 10 MVP consideration twice. You're winning a Silver Slugger. You're a 3-time All-Star. But I can't have a 48 game on my ledger and have you in my top 2. There's a reason Stanton is barely my number 5. as talented as he is, you got to play the games. And even Stanton was better than Jordan last year. You got to play the games. Otherwise, you might be number one. Like, we are in a world that I think Jordan could out-hit Ohtani, and that would not shock me in the slightest. Jordan could be the best hitter, not named Aaron Judge, on the planet. Like, if Jordan turned in a 2005 Albert Pujols season, sure, I would absolutely believe it. If he turned in a 2007 A-Rod season, yep. If peak David Ortiz, yep. There is nothing that Jordan can't do on a baseball field. He could have a Barry Bonds-like season. I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah,
you got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
I'll say right here though, I have Kyle Schwarber at number 3. So, and honestly, if you don't, maybe should we just do like 3 and 2 together here, just like because honestly, I feel like we have the same players. Okay, so I have Kyle Schwarber at number 3. Look, Schwarber is awesome. Even as a division rival, I'll just say it. 56 homers this past year. He still walks at like a 15% rate. He's basically the new Adam Dunn, I feel like. He's literally a 3 true outcomes player. He's the poster boy for that. He has, for his career, walked at a 14% clip. He struck out a 28% clip, and he's hit 340 home runs. He just re-signed a 5-year contract, and assuming we have a season, even if we don't have a season in 2027, by the end of this contract with the Phillies, I'm expecting Schwarber to have 500 home runs. My only concern here, and the one reason maybe he doesn't reach 500 home runs, he's already 33 years old, or he's about to turn, he's turning 33 tomorrow, or by the time this comes out, it'll be today.
Happy birthday.
All right, for our Spotify listeners. And, he still has that high strikeout rate. I think his walks will be there. I don't know how long the power will last, or the batting average, which has ticked up in recent years. He's not, he's not winning the batting championship or anything, but like Splash said, 162 games played this year. He is a remarkable ball player, great bat speed, also great postseason track record. But I think we're kind of just, and I feel like people, I'm not saying you guys, are just kind of forgetting how good Yordan Alvarez is. Even with last year's, injury woes and all that, his career OPS is well over 900. It's 961. He's slugging for his career 573. Again, in a down year where he only played 48 games, still 121 WRC plus, and he was completely sapped of any power he had. So if Yordan just stays healthy, like Splash said, he could be one of the best hitters in baseball. Like he could be challenging Ohtani. Honestly, there were years where actually there was at least one year where we ranked Alvarez ahead of Ohtani on this list for a reason. He put up a 188 OPS plus season. So he hits the tar out of the ball. If he stays healthy, I'm expecting him to be an MVP candidate, being completely honest. So I still have Yordan. For his ceiling, I have him higher than Schwarber.
Yeah, I'll go into mine here then, and having Yordan at 3 has nothing to do with my bias on things. It's the exact same thing that Splash is saying. You gotta be on the field. You gotta you gotta be able to step up to the plate, and that's the difference between Schwarber and Alvarez. Like, excuse me. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat there. But for Yordan, I honestly think that when he is fully healthy, he's not just challenging Ohtani as the best DH. He's challenging Judge as well for best hitter in baseball. Alvarez is a demon with the bat in his hands. The problem is not the bat, it's his knees. When his knees give out, it is a problem. And the problem is, and I know this from my own personal experience here, when you have knee injuries, they tend to come back a lot more frequently than a lot of other body part injuries. I would know double-digit injuries on both knees. But here's the thing, right? Yordan, when he plays, is absolutely a monster. And that's why even with the health issues, I have him above Rooker, Springer, Stanton, Herrera, all that stuff. Because when he does play, even in that short sample size, to say he does get injured and comes back, he is still a better player in that time than usually Brent Rooker is or George Springer is. Because when he's healthy, he is nuts. And I don't think we give him enough praise for also being a good hitter for contact as well. The guy puts up a batting average here nearly 300 on usual times. That is on top of also hitting a billion bombs. That's how good he is. Here, you can take him and put him anywhere in the lineup if you really want to, but you're usually going to put him at number 3 because that's where you put your dangerous hitter at. And that's why the Astros have been doing it for checks notes a good few years now. When he plays, Jordan is arguably the best hitter in this game. When he plays, and he plays to where we have seen him play, you can't even lefty-lefty match up with him because he's one of the best lefties at hitting other lefties. Robbie Ray says, hi, everybody. It's honestly annoying to me how good he is. Again, I know he's on a division rival. That's why it's annoying for me. But I can't help but be impressed every time I watch him play. There are so few players where I feel genuine fear when they come out to the bat. Honestly, all 3 of the top DHs on this list, I feel that fear. And that's what goes into Schwarber, because Schwarber, yes, is not as good of a hitter as Yordan Alvarez is, but he's going to put up more numbers because he actually plays. He's been very good about taking care of his body and not getting injured here. And even when he does get injured, he rehabs it correctly and comes back stronger than ever. Here, the guy has made now a new career later in his life here as a pure hitter that does one thing and one thing incredibly well. That is hitting bombs like that. Here, there's a reason why also in the home run derby at the end, why he was the one that they wanted specifically to be in the swing off here for the All-Star game here. And again, that'll be your trivia question later on down the line here. But yeah, no, Schwarber is there because of the numbers. Alvarez is there because of the ability. And I think we all know who's at number 1. Obviously, it's Dominic Canzone.
Jurickson Profar, welcome to the club, baby.
I was going to say Dom Smith, but I mean,
hey, we are going to get some big Dom Smith energy in Atlanta this year, maybe.
Come on, gotta give me the.
Oh yeah, the Canzone. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. He's a decent ball player, I'd say.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. Boy, I could talk about Ohtani all day. Really. This dude, there isn't really a lot to say about Ohtani just because of how amazing he is. 4-time MVP. By the way, he's pitching again, and he's good at it.
Yep.
He wants to win the Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he puts his mind to it. Easily he can. He also hit 55 home runs. Remember
that much.
The NLCS Game 4 performance was literally straight out of I don't even know if I've ever done that in backyard baseball. Hit 3 home runs with my pitcher while I was striking out 10 and 6 shutout innings. It's ridiculous, this dude. I feel like I've said this before. This generation's so bad at appreciating greatness because it became the cool thing to start dunking on this dude. But he's literally one of the greatest athletes we'll ever see, at least in Major League Baseball. So, obviously, we all have him at number 1 for a reason. I'm assuming there isn't really a debate here.
No, absolutely not. There is no debate here, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong.
He sort of combines the the aspects we all talked about with Schwarber and Alvarez. That it's he's a comparable hitter to Alvarez. Quite literally, their peak seasons: Alvarez 188 OPS plus, Ohtani 187 OPS plus. But he plays. He posts every day, and even the year that he's been out with the pitching injuries, he played all year in 24. Even in 23, he missed a month, but he still qualified for the batting title. So he's going to play most games, unlike Jordan, who misses a chunk of season every year. But he's going to be an elite hitter, unlike Schwarber. And even Schwarber this year, a 150 OPS plus is awesome. Ohtani's been better than that. Alvarez, when he's healthy, is better than that. So Ohtani is like the best of both worlds, that it's the rate basis, the rate stats are incredible. The volume is incredible. He went 50-50. He hit another 50 home runs last year. And that we're not even considering the pitching here, but he's a great base runner. He is a great hitter. He hits for a high average. He walks. He hits for a lot of contact. His baseball savant page is basically all red. We're talking high barrel rate, high hard hit percent, a 58% hard hit rate. That is ludicrous. A 15% walk rate. Just about the only thing he does is once in a while he'll swing and miss. 22nd percentile strikeout rate, 4th percentile whip rate. Alrighty. Even Achilles has
I can live with that.
Yeah, even Achilles has his heel. Hits for high average. Not 392 on base. This third year in a row, at least 390. 600 slug. That's crazy. He has an OPS above 1,000 for the third time in a row. That is redonkulous.
I want to bring up this because I feel like this is something that isn't talked about as much here, even though we kind of dance around it a bit. Obviously, his ability at hitting home runs is incredible, but I don't think people fully understand how good it is. So I'm going to bring up something here. 2024, he did not pitch, right? He was recovering from the injury, and so he played full-time DH. And during that time, he hit 54 home runs and got 130 RBIs here. Also, by the way, just throwing in there, 59 stolen bases, almost got to 60. That would have been fun. But the next year, people were wondering how much of these stats are going to return. How much of these stats are going to be there here now that he's also going to be full-time pitching? Well, he decides to hit more home runs at 55, and over the course of 2 years, 2 seasons, hits 109 home runs. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. 2 seasons, 109 home runs. That is nuts. You want to add even more to it?
Bad.
Those same 2 seasons, 232 RBIs here. When you look at this guy, there's not a flaw. Legitimately, there is. The only flaw you can put on him is he doesn't play defense. Oh, wait a minute. He still pitches, which is the ultimate defense. He is the star of the defense in that way, in that regard. So you put him in that position. He does everything right. It's annoying how good he is, but yes, this is greatness personified. I don't think there's any knock on him, and anyone that says otherwise legitimately at this point is coping. I don't know fully what to say any more than that.
I have a list for you guys. This is history of Major League Baseball. 725 plate appearances, a 1,000 OPS. Here's the list. Lefty O'Doul, weird ballpark. Lou freaking Gehrig, Ted freaking Williams, Mo Vaughn, who isn't a freaking leader or whatever the line was from the article, Jeff Bagwell, Luis Gonzalez, Alex Rodriguez, Charlie Blackmon at Coors, Ronald Acuna, my GOAT always appears, Shohei Ohtani. In the history of baseball, there has been 2 players ever to have a 1,000 OPS plus in as much volume. We are talking historic levels. In 2 seasons, he has 1,458 plate appearances. He has an OPS above 1,000. That is just simply ridiculous. And even A-Rod, his came in the steroid era. You could argue he's playing shortstop, so maybe that's a little bit better. But Ohtani's era-adjusted numbers are significantly better. A-Rod wasn't the best hitter in the American League those seasons. A 160 OPS plus is great. A 158 OPS plus is great. And he's playing shortstop. He didn't even win the MVP those seasons because he wasn't the best hitter. Ohtani's the best hitter. He's putting up similar stats, and he's putting it at unprecedented volume. It's crazy.
Yeah. This dude is built differently.
And if I don't keep up with the runs scored stat all that much, but over 140 runs scored this year. That's all right. He's I believe hang on, let me pull up the league leaders. He was at 146. I believe Juan Soto was second in the league. Let's see if they have the stats here real quick. Regular season 2025. Runs scored. Otani was first at 146. Judge 137. Soto 120. Yeah.
What more do you need to say about him?
Crazy.
Legitimately, like we make the joke earlier that what do we even need to say about him here on this? We've been talking about Otani almost religiously. It feels like at this point here, because even when he is like not the topic of conversation, he becomes the bar. He is the bar that if you want to be the best, you have to topple him. Because I've been saying this for a bit now. He is the most valuable player in this game, bar none. Sorry, Judge, but he's number one. When you are able to do what he's doing hitting-wise at that elite level, and is also pitching at a level where you can even be remotely considered for a Cy Young, what more do you want? Honest to God, just what more do you want?
Well, what about the playoff success? He has 2 rings now, too. That's crazy.
He does have 2 rings. Thankfully, so does Kershaw now, too. But, or does he have 3? No, he has 2.
Kershaw technically has 3.
Oh, yeah, he has 3, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically. The good old
Fair enough.
technicalities.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
ready
we'd love
for
to
some
hear
more
it.
technicalities?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yep, it's trivia time.
Yes, sir. All right, welcome
There we
to
go.
the Alex versus Mac Cup today. We've done the who we play for. We've even done who we managed for. Today we're doing were they teammates?
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I feel like our 2
Let's
reactions
go.
there definitely show how our trivia usually goes.
So there's 2 stipulations. That's a point system, if you will. First, you get a point if you determine if they were teammates or if they were not teammates. There are some pairs that were not teammates. Second, you can accrue points if you tell me what teams they were teammates on. So, for example, Ronald Acuna and Ozzy Albies are currently teammates on the Braves. So you would say, yes, they are teammates. Yes, it's for the Braves. So that would be 2 points. If they were teammates for multiple teams, you can start naming them, but you have to name them in a correct order. You can't say, oh, yeah, Ozzy and Ronald, they were teammates on the Mets and the Braves. You would get 1 point because they were teammates, but you got the teams in the wrong. You got the wrong teams. So,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
do we understand the rules here?
I think so.
All right. Alex, choose a number between 1 and 25.
17.
Okay. Mac,
21.
the answer is 20. Mac, you may.
Let's go.
Do you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right. Your first pair, Justin Verlander and Robbie Ray, a couple Cy Young Award winners. Were they teammates?
Yes, they were on the Tigers.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. That is 2 points for Mac. They were teammates on the Tigers. They were also teammates on the Giants.
That's what I was about to say. They were on the Giants last year, too.
Yep.
So.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oops.
Yep. So, Mac, 2 points for you. All right. Alex.
Okay.
Were Mike Piazza and Frank Thomas teammates?
No, they were not.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is correct. They were both on the A's in the mid-2000s, but not simultaneously. Thomas played in 06, Piazza in 07, and Thomas again in 08.
Just kept dodging each other.
Yep, so that is a point for Alex. All right, Mac. Pudge Rodriguez, Ivan Rodriguez, and Gary Sheffield, were they teammates?
Yes, they were on the Tigers.
Final answer.
Hang on. Let me think if they were teammates in other places. They were teammates on the Tigers.
That is correct for 2. Good job. They were teammates on the 07 and 08 Tigers.
Yep.
All right. Alex, your
Hello.
players are known Denver school enthusiast Mike Hampton and Randy Johnson. Were they teammates?
Yes, they were teammates on the Astros.
Okay. Final answer.
Final answer.
That is 2 points for Alex. Mike Hampton and Randy Johnson were in fact teammates on the 98 Astros and the 93 Mariners.
I was going to say, I think they overlapped on the Mariners too. Yeah.
Yep. The
Yeah,
1993 Mariners. All right.
All right.
Mac.
Uh-huh.
Ricky Henderson and Ichiro Suzuki. Were they teammates?
Oh, I got to do some thinking here. I'm trying to remember if Ricky played more than one season on the Mariners, because I know he was on the Mariners after the Mets cut him. That's a good one. I'm going to say no.
Final answer.
Correct.
All right. That is correct. Ricky was on the
Okay,
team in
thank
2000.
Yeah.
Ichiro joined in 2001.
Oh, one.
So,
Yeah.
so Mac, you get
They
the
were
point.
so close. So close.
So close to greatness. He did get to play with Griffey, though, briefly. No.
That was
Yes,
that's awesome.
in 09. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
all right. Alex,
Hello.
your players. 2 players who played for a bunch of different teams. Did they ever overlap? Edwin Jackson and Octavio Dotel.
Yes, they were on the Tigers together.
Final answer.
That's all I'm going to say. Yes.
Okay, they were teammates. That is true, but they were on the 2011 World Series winning Cardinals, not the Tigers.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I had a
enough.
feeling they were teammates. I could not tell you what teams.
Yeah.
I
All
just remember both of them as Tigers. So
All right, we head into the final round here.
All right.
That's Alex for 2, my bad. All right,
no, I only
Mac?
got one on that.
Mac, you have 5 points. Alex, you have 4 points.
I only got 1 point on that one. Because I got that they were teammates, but I did not get the correct team.
You got the Mariners.
No, I didn't.
Oh, for the what? Yeah, you only got 1 point for that one, but you got 2 points for Hampton and Randy, and you got 1 point for Piazza and Thomas.
Oh,
That's
okay.
4. Yeah.
Yep.
There we
So
go.
5-4. Mac, you lead. If you get a perfect score here, you win. So, your players. Gary Sheffield and Kevin Brown, 2 near Hall of Famers. Maybe they're Hall of
Ooh.
Famers in someone's eyes. Maybe they're not. Were Gary Sheffield and Kevin Brown teammates?
They definitely were teammates because they won
Okay.
a World Series together. I believe they were teammates twice. First on the Marlins, then on the Dodgers.
Final answer.
Wait a second. They were teammates again on the Yankees after that.
Final answer.
Yes.
Okay. That is correct. 3 for 3. They were teammates on the 97 Marlins. They were teammates on the turn of the century Dodgers, and they were teammates on the Randy Johnson Yankees.
Wow.
So, Mac, that is 4. Alex, as a courtesy, I will give you the final question.
Yeah, but
Even
I'm
if you
out
got
of
it
range.
perfectly,
Yeah,
you would lose, but we'll give you the final question.
that's fair.
John Olerud and Ricky Henderson, were they teammates?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Olerud. Okay, so they were teammates on. I honestly, the only one I know is Seattle, but I feel like there was another one before that, and I'm going to guess that it was on the Mets. They're teammates
Okay,
on
is
the
that,
Mets.
is that your final answer?
So teammates on the Mets, and then teammates on the Mariners.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, that is 3 out of 4. They were
Oof.
teammates. They were teammates on the
3
Mets.
times, yeah.
And they were teammates on the Mariners. They were also teammates on the 93 World Series winning Blue Jays.
Okay, I thought about saying the Blue Jays. I just remember Ricky actually played for the Blue Jays.
Yes, he won a World Series with them.
Yeah, he won a
Yeah.
World Series with them.
Oh my gosh! If I legitimately was thinking about it, I'm just like, I could not remember if he was there.
All right, great trivia segment.
that was
Mac,
good.
you
That's
get the
fun.
dub 9-7. Congratulations. Any words?
Yeah, that was dope. Let's do
That
it
was
again
fun.
at some point. Maybe
Absolutely.
after I get back.
Absolutely. So you'll be off next week?
Correct. I will be in Japan. Be probably unavailable.
All right. Before we get to moment to ourselves, who wins the World Baseball Classic?
Ooh. Hey,
Ooh.
Lindsay Ball, good to see you.
I'll give you an answer that it's going to be a rematch USA Japan, but this time USA wins it.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Oh, this one's actually tough. I'm You know what? I'm going to be a contrarian here. I'm going to say that it's going to be USA and Dominican Republic here.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah.
And I think USA wins it with a Cal home run because I want to manifest it into the universe.
Okay. I'm going to be I'm going to say the US does not win. I'll take the Dominican Republic. I'll take them.
Okay,
Austin Wells walk-off home run to win everything. known Dominican Austin Wells. Shout out to XYZ Ballin in the chat. Moment to ourselves. Who would like to proceed?
I could go first this
Alex,
time.
3,
all right,
2, 1.
Over this last weekend, I got to do an event that I was a little bit skeptical of, but I'm so glad I did. I went to a Pokemon regional tournament. Here, they held one in Seattle for the first time in a few years. And I was like, you know what? Let's go have fun. I can't compete legally, but I can still go and play all the side events and have a good time. And I just need to say, if you have ever even considered liking Pokemon, if you have ever even remotely thought, you know what, maybe I'd like to try playing some of these games here, go to a regional if it's in your hometown. That was one of the most fun weekends I have ever had in my life. Getting to play games the entire weekend through, winning tickets to win prizes, and meeting new friends. I now have an entirely new friend group because I just found people that would just start talking because we all had this common bond over Pokemon. And it was one of the most fun weekends I have ever had in my life. Here, I did spend a good amount of money, not gonna lie here, but that's also on me buying merch and all that kind of stuff. But it was so much fun playing the different formats. You didn't even need to have your own deck for a lot of the things out of all the TCG. You didn't even need to have even the game. Any of the games, you could go and play the ones that were brought out for you. I played in a Pokemon, a Pokemon Stadium mini games tournament and won that. Here, and then also played in a mystery game tournament where I got to the finals of that as well. Like, it's just fun. Every part of what I got to do was fun. And I remember, like, just as I was, like, coming home each night, like, I cannot wait for the next day now. On my first day going, I was nervous because I was going by myself. I heard it's better to go with friends. I immediately met up with some amazing people, and they adopted me into this little group, and the group just kind of kept growing until it's about 6 of us by the end of it, and we just had an amazing time. Which, by the way, to the classy group, hi there, good to see you. Stay classy, Seattle. But, man, if you ever even get the opportunity and you see that there's a regional tournament in your hometown, just go to it. You will have fun. You will have a good time. You do not need to have anything of your own. But I can guarantee you will leave with an entirely new appreciation for everything that goes on. There is stuff for people that have never done anything, and there is stuff for people that have been playing their entire lives. Go ahead and give it an effort.
Yeah. I mean, that just sounds like so much fun. I mean, it's probably like when me and my friends go, like, we go race or we go to baseball games, like, and like obviously like I love Pokemon too. Like I've grown up with Pokemon. I still play Pokemon. I've never participated in like the card game part of it, but it sounds like it's a lot of fun. Like I see people get really into it. So
I'll bring up just a couple of events that were like really good that you did not need a deck even for. One of them is called Ditto Pack Battles. Paid $10 to get into the event. A lot of side events cost money. Be honest with that. But you get one pack, make a 20 card deck out of it, and you just play. Then you get another pack, and you add that into your deck, and you just play. You don't even need to have the right evolutions or anything like that. You just play. But if you look at it just from a cost benefit analysis here, getting the 2 packs already pays for the $10 you pay getting into it. Plus, then you get prize tickets, which help you get even more fun things. Over the course of the weekend, I think I opened nearly 2 booster boxes worth of packs here. And a lot of them, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't spend $1 on actually trying to buy a pack from someone. I bought to get into the event, and I then paid with the prize tickets for the other booster box. The other event I want to bring up here, the raid events are so much fun. You team up with 3 others to take on a raid boss, and you are all working together instead of working against each other to try and overcome this one obstacle against a professor that is actually a nice person, but will play the bad guy because he has a deck full of crap that is going to hurt you. But it is so much fun. I had a friend of mine who is like, they were hesitant about whether or not they even wanted to do any of this here. They played one raid battle and were like, I am hooked. I am complete, to where they would not stop talking about it, and it made me so happy.
How many bakers do you play, Alex?
Oh, baker after baker after baker after baker after baker. Dude, I had so many coffers by the end of the event, man. I gotta tell you.
Love to hear it. All right. May I proceed?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Right. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, begin.
So I'm going to do some quick math. If you watch about a quarter of your team's baseball games, call 120 out of 162, and you watch for about 2 hours, maybe you fall asleep or you only catch a couple innings, whatever. Consider that it's 240 hours of your year. That is 10 full days of your year. At least for me, the only people I see more than that is my grandmother, my roommate, and the people I work with. Which, even then, because even 240 hours is, 30 working days? So, yeah, over the course of a full year. So, when baseball fans say they are committed to the bit, they are committed to the bit. Even NFL fans, I'm a Ravens fan, of course. Even if I watched every single second of every single Ravens game, all 3 hours and change, call it 4 hours. Say I watch the pregame show and I watch highlights after. That's 68 hours if Tyler Loop misses the field goal and they don't make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs and they advance to the World Series, the Super Bowl, that'd be 84 hours maximum of the entire year. Baseball, you could do that in a month, give or take. So, like baseball, it's a real commitment. It's like having having a companion, having a friend. I watch more baseball than I see my friends. And that's just a math thing. That's not a Splash doesn't have friends thing. Although that might be true. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that. I did see one of my friends on Saturday. Bobo was great. But yeah, it's you get to like sort of befriend the announcers and you like know all the guys on the team. You watch them every single day for 6 months practically and consider that's a pretty low estimate. I watch more than the Braves. I watch the other 29 teams. Like I live in the DC area, so I watch Masson and DC or the Nats and Orioles. I watch when I can. I watch Sunday Night Baseball and the Fox broadcasts and the playoffs, of course, and other teams. I've had MLB TV the last few years, and I have a baseball podcast. So that's another hour every week, hour and a half every week. This one's going a little long, but that's okay. Sorry, Alex. And consider all the research I do for the podcast and all the time I spend doing immaculate grids. And it ends up being a 300-hour, 400-hour a year commitment. So when you say you're a baseball fan, you are committed. Just throwing that out there. You are committed.
Yeah, literally no one can ever question your dedication if you're a baseball fan.
Here's the thing.
Straight up.
We've made jokes about that. If you are ever considering dating a baseball fan, know that they are the most loyal, committed people that you will ever meet, because committing for 162 games plus anything outside of that a year takes commitment.
Yeah, just watch the movie Fever Pitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you'll see what baseball can do to people.
Yeah, just consider it's spring training. World Baseball Classic is on. In about 20 minutes, the World Baseball Classic is going to start. So I'm going to get off a podcast. We've been on the StreamYard for about 2 hours now. I've been working on graphics since about 7 o'clock. So 2.5 hours plus of baseball. Then I'm going to walk out of my room and watch baseball for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
Yeah, and then in the morning, I'm going to watch more baseball. And then tomorrow, I'm going to follow spring training stuff. And I'm going to watch more baseball. And there's always baseball. So
yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. I thought about it walking home that like I watched more baseball in 2025 than saw literally my own father.
I mean, to be fair, I could
that's
say
crazy. Yeah.
to be fair, I say that too, but I do a lot of things more than see my own biological father.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's a different story altogether that we're not getting into today.
Yeah, like the only person I regularly see is my grandmother like that. It's like, that's kind of crazy that on the list of like people I see, baseball is number 2. Like, I watched Ronald and Ozzy and Harris and Riley, and Matt Olson might have been the most common person in my life besides my grandmother.
He was in every game.
He was
so
in every single game. That's my king right there. All right, Mac, your turn.
Yeah, sure.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm also gonna touch on Pokemon here. I paid the money to download Pokemon Fire Red. I don't know where my old game cartridge is, so I don't know where my DS is, so I downloaded it. This game is wonderful. It was the first Pokemon game I ever played, and me downloading it, it reminded me why I dedicated over 200 hours to that game when I was younger. It can be, I'm not gonna lie, like training your Pokemon without the straight up EXP share can be frustrating. But it's so much fun. Like, I don't know what it is about it exactly. Maybe it's the nostalgia factor, but I really have had a great time playing it. I'm really pleased with my decision to download it. And I'm glad it came out before I left for Japan, because obviously there are going to be times where I have some downtime, or, I'm going to be taking 2 13-hour flights. It's an additional thing to do while I'm on my flight. So yeah, it's awesome. I know I am paying to play an old Game Boy game on my Nintendo Switch, but I think it's worth it, and I'm having a great time with it.
I have not downloaded it yet here, and the main reason why is just I have a lot of other games right now that I'm going through, and on top of it, I have WWE 2K and MLB The Show 26 coming out very, very soon here. So with that, I mean, I play Pokemon.
That comes out like MLB 26 comes out like right after I get back, I think.
I mean, hey, you gotta download it now. You have no more excuses. You got the PS5.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Never mind. I was gonna say, if you weren't going to Japan, one of the things that you can do is the Now and Later program. There, where it's just 10 moments, and you get like 12 packs. It's like 12 Now and Later packs, which turn into 12 packs for 26.
Because I know I have a bunch of Now and Later packs that I have racked up. I also haven't played MLB in like probably since before I left for Florida. So yeah.
I opened it up today during my lunch break because I'm like, let me see if there's any more Now and Later packs. Oh, there's an entire program I missed. Fantastic. There's 12 more packs, I guess. So
I wish I enjoyed playing MLB The Show.
I get it, though. Yeah.
But
I understand your reasoning for not as well.
My glorious king, MLB Power Pros 2008, still clears.
Did you hear that eBaseball like Spirits or whatever it's called is coming to Steam?
No.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that because that means it's a very easy way that in America we could get the game now.
Progress. MLB Power Pros 2028, please.
Please, and please.
Please?
I don't care how much money I need to put down for it. I will.
Like, I will be the pre-order deluxe super mega game of the year edition. $199.99. Charge my card now.
Exactly. I will be there. I will be ready. I will be first in line for the midnight release because I will be getting the digital copy and a physical copy.
Yes. Oh, okay. Please, talking to Konami, talking to anyone that was a part of it. We have one of the greatest players, one of the greatest athletes in the history of all sports. He is quite literally Japanese. Your brand is Japanese. Figure it out.
And on top of it, right, here's the other thing with it. Ohtani already loves the Power Pros franchise. He's part of it already.
Figure it out.
Like, again, eBaseball Power Pros. He is a player that you can get here in the actual Power Pros. It's like games. He's there for you to get. He is on the opening intro of the game. Like, the man is already part of all of it. Just bring it to America, please.
Figure it out, please. If the Dodgers, I don't know if I want to say this seriously. I would consider giving up the 2027 season if we got MLB Power Pros.
Whoa! Wow!
Wait. Hold up. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but
that would be like a pretty crappy would you rather. Maybe if you added some more to that side, if it was the MLB Power Pros 2027 and then something else, maybe. But I don't know, man. I need it in my veins badly. It sucks that I have to be the one making all the graphics and like changing all the colors and the settings. It's like, come on, can we get a real game, please?
Please, yes.
Begging, pleading. Maybe like a chunk of the season misses. Maybe not a full season would be too much, but like a strike shortened season.
Look, I'll say that the most success I had in MLB The Show, painfully enough, was during the pandemic season.
Yeah.
Because with no baseball on, I played probably too much MLB The Show, especially once the semester ended, and I had no class either. Basically, like I dedicated way too much time to MLB The Show, and probably I wasn't like amazing at the game, like the greatest player of all time, but like I got better at that game than I have at any other MLB The Show.
Shout out to the simulated Seattle Mariners, one of my favorite projects I've ever done. That still is a legendary.
The LAR brand would go crazy if we had MLB Power Pros in a modern context.
Can we like be like, sponsors for it, or can we be like any sort of propaganda for it? We would give free advertising.
Yeah,
for
free
you.
Advertising. Can we be like a side character in success mode?
Yeah, can we just be like one of Marvin's friends or something? Like anything, I would like
even our MLB Life
and put it on multiple platforms, please. Because
actually,
I do not know where. I don't even know where my Nintendo Wii is.
I know that eBaseball Power Pros you can get on PlayStation as well.
Oh, PlayStation, because I know I have
no longer download it after the end of January this year.
Oh, because I have the I have the 30th anniversary Power Pros from 2024 that I have on my Switch. So
yep, I have that too. Actually, I'm gonna bring it out here to show. I have there it is.
There you go. All right, we have gone on for far too long.
We have. Wow.
Much like our desire for the MLB Power Pros to return. Thank you for watching. We are Mac, Splash, and Alex. Congratulations. I hope you realized that. Let me find the graphic. There we are. Mm-hmm. You can follow us collectively at LAR_baseball on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. If you're an audio listener, check us out on YouTube. You could be our 1,000th subscriber. If you watch us on YouTube, XYZ Ball, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow us individually. Alex is at the Sports Guy 242. Mac is at Mathias_A_K. I'm at Mr. Splashman 19. Thank you all for watching. And remember, say no to drugs, kids.
Go crazy, folks.